If you're joining us on Awaken and Ascend today, then you must have felt the call to nurture your gifts. Abby Gooch is an intuitive success coach, an author, speaker, and a teacher who trains men, women, and children throughout the world to develop their intuition, to heal, and create the lives they desire. Her full bio is in the video description below, and today she's joining us from San Diego so that you can nurture your gifts. Abby, thank you so much for joining us. This is such a vital and important topic. And, there's gifts that people have that they may have some doubt in pursuing them, embracing them, and fully embodying them. Some of them are a little afraid because it means a lot of responsibility in some cases. So I'm really curious about what got you inspired to share what you know about our gifts and how people can truly nurture them and how you came to nurture your own.
Yeah, it's a great question. So, first of all, thank you for having me on the show. It's always a pleasure and just such a joy to connect with you. And welcome everybody. We're just super happy you're here. So to answer your question, I mean, so obviously being an intuitive teacher, I'm going to say go to your intuition, right? That's going to help you nurture your gifts and understand what they are. So our intuition is that innate wisdom within us, right? So when we connect to that place within us that knows, we're able to expand on what's already there. And so I guess the first thing that comes to mind is, what are you noticing that you're already good at? What comes really natural to you? So like for me, I love to connect with people and nature, and it's my heart naturally just is very kind and wants to give. So that's like a gift, right? It's something that is easy for me, right? So what is easy, what comes naturally to you? And, I'm sure we'll go deeper into how to connect with your intuition and really feel that. But I'd say like start there, and ask yourself the question, what do I already know? Right? Because that wisdom is like there.
It is there, and it's so often overlooked because it feels so natural that we kind
Yeah.
of take it for granted. We don't see it as something really special until we hear someone reflect that back to us, right? About how it makes them
Yeah.
feel or the insight that they gave or their aha moment that they had as a result of that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, how do we really tune into that, Abby?
Yeah. So the way that I do it is actually, first of all, through nature is one of the best ways,
Oh,
right? Because
yeah.
our body naturally knows how to heal. We're one with nature. So if you can find, a place in nature to sit, that's ideal. If not, it can just be in your home. But I would invite everybody to close your eyes. You can place both hands on your heart to start.
Mm.
And you're just going to breathe into your heart and you're going to start to feel from your heart. So when your hands are on your heart, and you're feeling your heart, you're going to open the gateway to your intuition, which is love, right? So when you open the door to your heart, you're going to be able to nurture that gift of love by feeling love, life force energy, and everyone and everything. So nature, your home, each other, yourself. So let's just take a few deep breaths just to feel that presence of love, that life force energy. As you feel this presence of love, you're setting the foundation to connect with your intuition. So now I invite you to take one of your hands, so keeping one on your heart and the other one placing it on your gut, so a couple inches below your belly button, right on that instinctual knowing, that place of truth. You can imagine a golden spiral of just white, golden light going straight to your core. And as you do, you might even feel your tailbone kind of connect deeper to the core of the earth. Seeing roots grow down your feet, your tailbone, your legs, feeling rooted and grounded in love. And then coming back to that gut feeling again, a couple inches below your belly button. And I invite you to visualize the color orange, which is the second energy center. And this connects you to your purpose, your intuition, your passion, your sensuality, your sexuality, your ability to feel all of your senses. And it opens to the clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience, all that good stuff, because it actually starts here. Clairsentience is feeling with your body. So first starting with that knowing, and then the other gifts of clairvoyance, which is clear seeing, and clairaudience, which is clear hearing, can open. So it's just taking a few deep breaths into that place of truth. And if you're having a hard time feeling what certainty feels like or truth feels like, you could actually just say your name. So my name is Abby. So I say my name is Abby and I feel truth in my body because that's true. You could say, like, for example, I could say my name is Sam and I'm like, that's not true, right? My body knows, my gut knows. So just experiment around a little bit, just asking some questions to yourself and feeling the truth, right? So my name is, feel your name, the truth of that. And then once you feel what truth feels like, you can, ask a few questions like about anything. So you're connected to your intuition, to your truth. And then whenever you feel complete, you can always come back to this at any point, right? As a practice. I invite you to, when you're ready, gently open your eyes and start to see from this perspective of love. So when your eyes start to float open and you just kind of look around the room or even at each other, there's this new frequency, right? And so, my gifts of intuition opened up because I'd see from love, right? So then I could see people's energy, I could see angels, I could see guys, I could see because I'm on this different frequency, and you can do it too, right? So you begin to create with energy first and then bring in intention, which is your focused awareness to create what you want, right? So in the club, you can double or triple your income, like whatever it is, like maybe it's a relationship, but you're taking your intuition with your intention and starting to manifest, right? So, yeah, I hope that was helpful just to have that tune in point, because it's, to me, your intuition is like your inner compass, right?
Absolutely. And it points the way, the direction. It lights
Ah,
our path, essentially.
totally. Totally.
Yes.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah. And I love that, you're bringing your hands to your heart and then to your gut. Like already we're creating that connection,
Yeah.
just back in. It's almost like a returning to our bodies, to our physicality,
Yeah.
to our
Totally.
human life, and then connecting to our inner life as well, our deeper sense of who
Mhm.
we are, and
Yeah.
that energy that's in our heart and through our senses, and
Mhm.
connecting us with those clairs, right? And the different channels that we may receive the information and be able
Yeah.
to connect to our that inner wisdom. And I also love that you talked about life force energy, right, with through love, because love for me, from a friend that shared this many years ago with me, she was an esoteric astrologer, and she saw love as lots of vital energy,
That's fun.
right?
Yeah. Mhm.
LOVE. Yeah,
Yeah.
which is a great way to
Totally.
think about love. If,
Yeah.
love might be like an
Yeah.
activating word for hurt and pain and heartbreak at times.
Mhm.
So when we can think about love in this lots of vital energy, then that's a nice way to kind of shift that a little bit, and open up to love again, that unconditional, pure, divine love that we talk about.
Yeah, interesting. I
Mhm.
guess just what
Mhm.
comes when you say that is when you're truly connected to the presence of love,
Mhm.
if you are experiencing heartbreak, you actually can connect to the love within that. Like, because the heartbreak isn't actually love, the love is still
Yeah.
there. So
Mhm.
if you're going through that, I invite you to connect with this presence of love within you and your intuition, and you will be shown the truth in the way. And like you said, the light will show you the path, right? Through that heartbreak. And I think you said something else. I don't know your other thing around that, but love is pure. Like, So it's neutral too. Isn't that interesting? Like
Ah,
you
yeah.
bring things into love. Some people I think talk about it like the 0 point, but there's literally a neutrality. And so that's why we go into the heart and then we go into truth, which is your gut, right? So you're in this place of love and neutrality. And then your gut is that inner compass to guide you on your soul purpose, right? Because I absolutely believe we all come with a specific purpose and
Mm-hmm.
your gifts will support your purpose. That's why it's so important to nurture them because
Mm-hmm.
the greatest fulfillment you will ever feel, worth more than any amount of money, and making a lot of money may be part of your purpose, but the greatest fulfillment is to fulfill your purpose. You will feel
Yes.
incredible because you are in alignment with source, universe, yourself, why you came here, right? So
Mm-hmm.
if there's moments of disconnection, it's like, hmm, what do I need to learn here? What are my gifts showing me? What is my intuition telling me? And then like, what's my next step? Like, I'm really big into action, right? Like, I started my company really young and I was like, okay, I kind of need to prove myself. And I'm going to prove myself by helping people get results because that's what speaks, right? Like to me, even more than education, because guess what? We're all
Mm-hmm.
infinitely connected to infinite knowledge. So,
That's right.
like, if you just remember what you already know and you take action and you're in alignment, you're going to create success very fast. And
Ah,
people are
uh-huh.
going to be drawn towards you, you know?
Yeah. I think that's so important too. And like there's even a core fear that's hidden in that, like for me, is not the fear of not fulfilling my purpose and mission while I'm on this earth, and then having that purpose driven courage to take action and to identify and nurture those gifts. So,
Yeah,
how, like, you work with men, women, and children all around the world.
I do.
And
Can I respond to what you just said though? Because it was really
yeah,
important. So I
okay,
really
please.
appreciate your like vulnerability and the tool I have for you because I know you're not alone in that.
Mm-hmm.
One of my teachers, Sonia Choquette, I remember her workshop, we did this, and the question is, or the sentence is, if I weren't afraid, I would. And then
Yeah.
just let yourself finish that. And
Uh-huh.
you can do it with somebody, and it'll flesh out the fear because if you think about it, like there really is nothing to fear if you know that you came here by divine design and your soul's choice. The fear is actually what false evidence appearing real, right? Like
Right.
um, you're not living in truth if you're in fear. So if you move into love and into your
Mm-hmm.
intuition, you will be making choices,
Mm-hmm.
love that are true, that are good for you.
Absolutely. 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 Yes.
So I
Yes.
just wanted to say that, my friend, because
Yeah. Thank
it's
you.
important, right? Because it goes along with the theme of nurturing your gifts and your purpose. So to never let the fear stop you, but get curious, connect in with your intuition and get curious, what is true? What is my next steps?
Yes, what is true? What is my next steps? And yeah, sometimes I ask myself, like, what would I do if I was brave today? And yeah, but I find that despite fears, like I've had like external fears that were quite threatening at times as well. And I found that the only way that I overcame that was because of my purpose-driven courage, the knowing that I had a purpose here, a mission
Yeah.
to fulfill on this earth, and that
Right.
overrode any kind of fear that might have come
Yeah.
up, or threats that would hinder that possibility unless I succumb to them, right? Unless I succumb
Yeah.
to them.
So you did have
So
courage, and to me, you
yeah,
faced your fears with love and
yes.
you overcame them. That's like I think in my second chapter of my book, I talk about that, like face your
Oh,
fears with love. Like it's
mm-hmm.
beautiful. I love because I feel like sometimes we can't always control the external. And so
That's
when
right.
you connect into your intuition, your internal world, you can affect your external world. And like you did, you overcame your fears, you can create change, you do beautiful shows like this. Yeah, to ripple that light. You know what I'm saying? So I just
Yeah.
think that's really beautiful that you're doing it, right? And to me, that's integrity is,
Mm-hmm.
practicing what
Exactly.
you preach,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah. Yeah. And, I love acronyms, and I find it's an easy way for people to remember things too. And for soul, we could look at that as sending out universal love. right? Since we're on the topic of love and sending out universal love, our soul's expression of what we
Mhm.
came here to do, which is the I in passion, right? Like when you think about passion, it's pass I on, that I being your soul's expression of what you're here to pass on in this lifetime. And that is a gift. That is our gift. And so you're throughout the world
Mhm.
teaching and sharing and speaking to these men, women, and children throughout about nurturing their gifts to develop their intuition so that they can create the life that they desire. And sometimes we lose sight of what it is we even want or desire or yearn for in our life. And so that's a big part of it too. But going back to how we identify our gifts. I know you mentioned earlier that it was just, what comes naturally to us and what
Mhm.
we know. How what do you share with the people when you're teaching about nurturing your gifts? What are you sharing? How are you helping them to connect with what they already know and feel inside
Mhm.
but might feel disconnected from?
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, I think the second part is do what you love because
Yeah.
love is the highest vibration, right? It's the food of the universe. So go do what you love. And like, and that will also lead you because like for me, I love to run, right? So I would run
Mm,
for like hours and that would open me up to like create the certification course that I have now, right? So even if it's not the exact thing, it's going to lead you to your gift, right? Because
right.
you're in that vibration of love and also joy. So, when you're in your heart, you're in love. And to me, joy is usually felt kind of like from your belly. It's like a bubbling up. So it's
Mhm.
like that love and joy, that life force energy is going to start moving through you. So get activated through your heart, your love, your joy, and your gifts will naturally emerge. They have to. They're
Mhm.
there. They're
Mhm.
just waiting for you to open, right? And realize that like the gift is you. I think that's the second. Yeah, yeah. It's the gift is you. Just know that the gift is you. So like
Mhm.
open it.
Open, open the gifts.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love
Like,
that. I love that. Yeah. And you're right. I had a flashback to the Karate Kid movie back from the 80s, right? That, he wanted to learn karate, but his teacher took him through all of these different things that seemed to have nothing to do with karate
oh wow.
until the very end, right? He was like wax on,
Yeah.
wax off. And that was like one of the main
Yeah.
karate moves and just the movements, right? He was teaching them the
Yeah.
movements and not knowing specifically how it's tied into what it
Uh,
was he was actually there to learn until it all came together at the end.
mm,
And so, with
mm.
nurturing your gifts, I think that connecting to who you truly are, that's what you're saying, and doing what you love to do, because then that puts us at the frequency that you spoke about earlier as
Yeah, and
well,
I
that
really
opening that connection and being
mhm.
tuned into the frequency of our soul.
Yeah, you said it perfectly. That's
Mm,
exactly it. Like, to me, who you really are is your soul, right? It's this infinite
mhm.
light energy. That's why we can connect to people on the other side, right? Or, angels or guides because it's all energy, right? So you are energy, actually.
Yeah.
There's
Mhm.
an embodiment of that energy, right? So I think we're responsible for our actions and we create, in energy in the physical as well, right? So from energy to physical, but I just love that you said, coming back to who you are because at the deepest, most profound, infinite level, like you are soul and that consciousness can actually transform and create really whatever's in alignment with your highest. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind
Mhm.
of like the light behind you, like that light path, it opens that way. So yes, to your point, love it. It's great.
And creates harmony as well, right?
Yeah.
Because then it creates that alignment and harmony with that frequency as we attune to that. One of my guiding principles I recite in the morning is that I operate from attunement to soul, aspiring to be a full expression of who I truly am,
Oh, I love that.
recognizing and remembering that it's the being that prompts the doing that gives us the having. Often we think we need to have something before we can actually do it, and then that defines who we are, right? We get it all backwards.
That's right.
And
Backward,
that's
yep.
where the confusion and the doubt comes from
Yeah,
because, it's not necessarily the right order of things, right? And so
yeah,
things become out of harmony, out of
right,
alignment. There's the misalignments that can happen. And
right.
so I think part of it too, and I'm saying "and so" a lot, which is interesting. That's just what's coming
You're
out.
what?
Yeah, I noticed that I'm saying "and so" a lot.
Oh, no, no, no. It's good. It's cute, it's fine. Mm.
Just because I think I'm in the flow, and I think that's just a little transition space that just comes out.
Yeah.
I think nurturing our gifts also comes from the people that surround us as
Yeah.
well. You
Uh,
know, the support that we have that surrounds us, or the support we don't have that
yeah.
surrounds us, or that we're being told about how to live, how to be, what to do, what to have. We're being told about
Mm.
obligations and responsibilities and rules that we need to live by. And I find that when we're trying to conform to something,
Yeah.
then that is equal to performing something, because it's not necessarily true to who we are,
Oh, I
our
love that. I
natural
love
flow of
that.
life.
I love
Yeah.
that. Okay. So I love what you say. So agreed. So the question is, what supports me? So what
Mhm.
people, what environments support me? And
Yeah.
notice if you list those or think of those, you feel good, right? Because it's truth, right? So it's like, okay, do more of that. Those people, those environment. Now, if there are certain environments or people that are saying something different than what resonates with you and doesn't
Yeah.
support you, get
Mhm.
away from those environments. Get away from the people because you don't need that. And quite frankly, I feel like they're often projections of other people's realities or even like society. Like
Mm.
a lot of the way that I'd say the majority of the workforce is set up, I feel is based in like kind of control and manipulation and fear. That's why I'm a big advocate for like having your own business and growing your income maybe in your current company so you can potentially get out of that because it's like
Mhm.
to me, I don't want to project on you, but for me, I want to have the freedom to always do what makes me feel good and share my gifts and monetize them in a way that's serving everybody, right? And so
Mhm.
to be able to do that for so long is such a gift and everybody can do it. That's the thing, right? I mean, that's what we teach in the club, but just to recognize, okay, if you're in a situation that doesn't feel supportive, you don't have to stay, whether that's work or personal, and you can
Mhm.
actually follow your intuition into a higher path, right? We can guide you in the Intuitive Success Club. You can work with her. You could work with many people, right? There's a way to get there. But I would say your intuition as that inner compass to light your way is the first step. And I just gave you that practice in this interview, right? Like you can start today.
Exactly. Exactly. Tuning into your heart, to your gut. That's where true information comes from. So returning to the source, right?
I just love what
Literally
you
to
said though.
resource yourself. Yeah. And
Yeah.
so I talked about the performance, and then we tend to prioritize that productivity and performance
Yeah.
more so than our health and well-being. If we can just make a
Mm.
little switch, just so it's our health and well-being that comes first to support
Yeah.
our productivity and
Yeah.
performance. And what you're
Yeah.
saying about, being self-employed and being an entrepreneur, and
Yeah.
I think that's really important. And I see that happening, Abby, that we're moving from a product-driven economy, which thrives on productivity, into a purpose-driven economy where we have that innate motivation, that drive, that intention, the
Yeah.
support that we're here to serve, not in servitude, but to actually serve, to offer those
Mm.
gifts. We get to share our gifts too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm. Really, and be acknowledged for them. Again, going back to the
Mm,
supportive environment and supportive people, like
right.
to your point, surround yourself with that because it illuminates your light, it grows it, it ripples it, it helps you shine, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. And I love too that you're talking about really keeping the momentum, sustaining the momentum by doing what you love. 'Cause when you love what you do, love shines through everything you do. And that's that lots of vital energy. And I find with spiritual change makers and thought leaders in particular, and visionaries, creative visionaries, that it's the energy and passion that creates the greatest impact.
Yeah.
Right. So to carry that frequency, to carry that energy, that passion
Yeah.
through, that love, so
Yeah.
that we can spread that love and really amplify it,
Yeah.
really
100%.
strengthen it. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just thinking like I'll even have like clients or students be like, I can feel the love through your email, like they feel the energy.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
We feel each other at a subtle level. all the time.
We do. And because it's our aura that touches anything
Mhm.
else first, right? You know,
Totally.
before that
100%.
handshake or the hug, like it's,
Yeah.
yeah.
I love that. It's right on.
Mm,
100% right
hmm.
on.
And
Yeah.
sometimes we need a little help because we we get bogged down by other
Yeah.
sources of information and those misalignments and everything that we talked about. So that's why we have the teachers, the speakers, the coaches that can help support us. And Abby, I know you do absolutely incredible work, so I'd like for you to share a little bit more about that, how you serve others, and especially how people can connect with you.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, you really shared a lot. I teach intuition. So, like, primarily, I just, work with entrepreneurs and business owners. You can also be an executive or an employee, it doesn't matter, but just to basically grow. Oh, sorry, I'm getting a call coming in. Grow your income through connecting with your intuition and live on your soul purpose, right?
Mm.
So, I invite everybody to go to lifeforceconnection.com and you can get, it says download meditation, and you can get a free meditation, which basically activates all of your energy centers and helps you come in alignment with your highest potential, with your soul's wisdom, like what we're talking about today, and start to see a vision for yourself that does light you up, that helps you tap into your gifts and nurture them even more. And then, if you're not wanting a business and you just want to develop your intuition, that's fine too. It's just exciting because typically, if it's not that, it's, attracting your partner, a new place to live. Like, there's whatever your heart desires that's in alignment with your soul can happen. And that's what's so beautiful. Um, and then, yeah, probably maybe 4 or 5 years ago, I started something called the Intuitive Child, and we actually got approved in the school system, which is a really big deal. So
Yay.
kids,
Yeah.
we teach kids how to develop their intuition. So, if you're a parent or a teacher, um, and even you want to develop your own intuition, you could do it from that course, but it's the intuitivechild.co, and you can learn how to join. So, basically all the courses, their classes, and then their live interactive coaching where people hop on the group sessions or individual sessions to integrate and actually apply what
Mhm.
I'm teaching or our team is teaching, because it is in the activation and then the implementation. Um,
Right.
so yeah, and then, if you are wanting to really dive deeply into like a certification program or really up your income, you can go to www.theintuitivesuccessclub.com and learn about our full program and click on my
Yes.
says yes, and you can get your intro session there too. So yeah, it's just those intro sessions are just to connect with you, and really see about the fit and how we can support you to really tap into that intuition.
Yeah, I love that. And to join the club, right? We talked about
It's
surrounding
so
yourself
fun.
with
Oh my
people who
God.
uplift you and support you and cheer you
Yeah.
on, champion you,
Yeah.
So it's nice
Well,
to
it's
be
like
able
I'm
to have
shaking my
that.
head because I was so resistant to it for a while. I was like, no, I just have to do
Yeah.
private because people get so much private. But people are getting, I think, more from the group. Maybe not more, it's just different, but more
Mm.
in the sense that there's multiple people where you teach each other, right? So it's like I'm there coaching, but like everybody's kind of coaching each other because we're all intuitive, right? So like we all become the teachers. So it's like super fun. And like, yeah, when I first started this school, it was in person. I actually started in my living room, and then I built a wellness center and all that. And then it went online. And I still have people like sometimes in person or people fly in, but it's like I remember just sitting there and just watching the synergy that happens of like
Mm.
people connecting and realizing how much they know and how we're all the same in some ways, right? So like having that empathy and understanding, and just knowing that like we've all had challenges, right? So like everybody's challenge usually feels like the most acute for them because they're experiencing it, but yet everybody has the challenges and the gifts, and so there's a unity that happens. So I just love
Yes.
that you said that, because there's such a momentum with the club right now about like me finally saying yes to like opening the group again, because
Yay.
it's like we're all supporting each other in that fun like path that just really yeah, illuminates the way, just opens up. So,
And expands the possibilities.
yeah,
Yeah.
totally, totally.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
love that.
So
So
much. Yeah.
anyone listening right now feeling called to that, we're going to have all the links just below this video. So make sure you check that out and get that free meditation gift. It just even to start with that to just open you up and help you remember your gifts so that you
Yeah.
can start nurturing. So, Abby, that's the question too. Like, how do we actually nurture our gifts?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty much what we talked about, right? Like noticing
Mhm.
what you're already good at, doing what you love, following it, following your joy. And then yeah, taking action on it, right? So it's like as you take the action, you have the result and you're like, "Oh my God, I am really good at that." Like, I mean, for me, it's like, I mean, I got my scholarship for college and I ended up leaving because I'd see these visions. Well, something just fell. Oh, a dream catcher.
Yeah.
So I would basically, I'd see somebody like across from me in a vision, and I'd be like, oh, like they have the answers within them. So, as I developed that vision and trusted my intuition, I followed it and then eventually had the company, right? So you want to like listen to your inner visions and follow them, take action on that, and then you'll see those beautiful results.
Yeah. I sometimes talk about having faith,
Yeah.
and faith, another acronym I'm going to throw at you guys,
Oh,
is finding answers in the heart. So you're
yeah.
saying that the answers are inside. So go inside, take the
Oh, I love
time,
that.
do that, and have faith. Yeah.
Oh, I love that. I love your acronyms. They're so beautiful.
Thank you. Helps me
Oh,
remember too.
I've never heard that before. That's so beautiful.
Yeah.
Wow.
Thank you. Thank you so much for being with us and joining us today, Abby. I really appreciate your time and everything that you've shared with us.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. Such a pleasure
Thank
and honor.
you. Is there anything else that you'd like to share before we
Oh, just thank you for
close this
hosting
out?
and
Mm.
doing this work. Amazing. Yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you. And thank you to each and every one of you that have been joining us on Awaken Ascend. I hope that you'll join us here every week. You can subscribe, hit that notification bell so you never miss an episode. We'd love to hear your comments. We always read those, so you have a voice too. And I'd love to hear how you're nurturing your gifts and what your gifts are. Why not share that with the world? So let's see it in the comments. Thank you so much again, Abby. Bye, everyone.
Absolutely.